Oh yeah! What's up, man?
Hi, how are you? Do you like the new look? We've hit the big time here. Everything's new.
Fantastic, Bill.
Yes, I've worked on my radio voice. How do you like it? It's excellent for this thing, and I'm actually looking the pod today. What do you think?
I think you're doing a good job there. No,
I went with the wrong accent on that one. I was like, I should have went with the full on. Was it do the announcer voice? The voice was the baseball guy. He's got no hope for the future.
Yeah, baseball's coming back this year, and I think it's funny that I was like at the gym the other day, and now these guys are coming out with their voices and their radio voice. And I'm like, do these people really say, "Well, this is Jim Winter. He came out of Fisher College, and we're really looking to make an impact on the team this year. Hopefully, you can hit a couple of dingers and win this one." Like, do they really like? You were in radio. You've done radio,
right?
Do they really
like that? Yeah. They don't teach them all that. I did take, because you have to remember I started off with an accent. So when I come in and do that thing, so the first time I came in, I wanted to do a trial, and he says, "Can you do an audition for us?" And I said, "I'd be happy to." And I came in, I was like, "Today we're talking about the most illustrious people that we've worked with in the past, and they are amazing and great and exceptional." And he goes, "Wow, that was really good." And I was like, "Yeah, sure was, wasn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're out." But anyway, but I still like the announcer, the guy from the baseball thing, and he does everything too personal. So he's like, "Today, Tommy Fisker is on first base, and he's getting ready to go up to bat right now. And unfortunately, he has a corn on his left toe that's been bugging him. And just before the show, his mom is out in the audience, who has finally announced that he was adopted," which I really is going to think it's going to affect his gameplay today. You're like, dude.
And then they'll be like, it's so like uneventful too when they hit like a home run. They'll be like, "Jim Winter came out of Fisher. Oh, there's a high one. It's over the wall. That's a home run.
High into the third. Look, he's walking around the bases because it's a really early today. Did I tell you the high is in the 65 today? So I'm not sweating in the booth, but I want to congratulate all those people out there that wore their suits. So anyway,
Have you ever seen that movie Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser?
Yes,
they do kind of that. They do a roast on that too. When he's the basketball player, you want to be a basketball player, and they're like, what the hell do they say? How's that slammer jammer? And like, it's just like,
that movie was really cool for the little anecdotal things that they would play on different things, and I thought that was nothing is what do you call it, holier than what they were going to do to it. So yeah, it was great.
So what do you think of the new setup, man? I got a new computer. I'm doing
amazing
the dual screens now. I got kind of that front view. Added a few new things that maybe we'll use during the show, which is kind of cool. And I
like the computer. The computer just looked amazing.
It's crazy. And the thing that's crazy about it, I have to say that's really crazy about it, if you go back and look at probably what this would have costed me 2 years ago to what I paid for it today, I'm like out of my mind.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I literally went on and tried to do a custom computer through HP. I would have had to wait until August till it actually shipped because of the chip shortage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, screw this. So I went and I got like a middle of a tier computer, because my other one, I mean, I had that built 10, 15 years ago, and it was just not going to make it anymore. So yeah,
that's it. Just the other thing is if I look like a slob today, everybody forgive me. We just spent, I think, 6 hours and shooting today, different video stuff, and I can't wait for it to come out because I'm gonna be sick. But for now, I can't say anything. But I will make sure that when it does go up, I'm going to be able to share it here. I feel like
Joe,
Primo
you
is
do the
making fun of
how are you, Joe? You're over here on the radio.
Joe knows how. Hey, Joe, Tyler Salk. Like I'm just gonna say Tyler because he was the man. Like so, because Brian before was asking me, he goes, "Do they actually talk like that in real life?" And I was like, "Oh, I know the guy. Like the first guy that popped his tile was like 24/7. He talks like that. Me, when I get off the show, I'm like, "Hi, everybody. How are you doing?" You know, like I don't sound anything like this, but it's so weird that like there are people out there that's their voice 24/7. So crazy. Like Mike Rowe talks like that all the time. Like it's and he has a charismatic voice. So I'm in some respects jealous because I feel like it took me a while to get my high pitched death metal screaming voice tuned down in a way that would actually sound good on a radio recording instead of like like so a lot of Rammstein practicing, and then I was able to break it.
Joe says Tyler definitely talks like he lives.
See,
that's awesome. So listen, we got a great show lined up today. I thought on the agenda we're going to talk. We just did our kind of bad sportscaster voices. We got to come on and do like a whole show like that sometime. It'd be freaking hilarious.
Absolutely.
But I thought we'd talk a little bit about some music. And yes, J-Lo and Ben are back together. They're engaged.
Ben's going to be smacking somebody soon. So stay tuned.
Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. Obviously, and I wanted to talk about Elon Musk because his recent inquiry of Twitter just completely savage.
He went in scorched earth right there. So crazy. And I expect more for that too.
But we'll get into that. So what I wanted to first talk about was it's this article's from a year ago. Now I'm going to keep doing this all night now. This article's from a year ago.
Today in Chicago 5, Kurt Cobain filed released by the FBI 27 years after his death.
Oh wow, we just got booted from Facebook. Awesome.
Did we?
Yeah, we got booted from Facebook.
How do we get booted from Facebook?
Yeah. It just says Stream has lost access to your Facebook account. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Oh, maybe we got reconnected. I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyway, show must go on. Right. So anyway, this article's from a year ago, but I wanted to talk about on the 5th was Kurt Cobain's it's been 28 years since he passed away or committed suicide. Really, really crazy stuff. And for me, Nirvana for me back then, it was crazy because I came out of that whole, it was very that hip hop. I was metal and hip hop. It was like Vanilla Ice at the time or something. And then all of a sudden it was like, what is the Seattle sound that's coming out? You had Pearl Jam.
Yeah, it ruined my band. So Pearl Jam, I went from metal to, because everybody's into Metallica. Suddenly Pearl Jam came out with Jeremy and it was all over but the crying. I have a question for you, though, because Kurt Cobain died at the age of 27, and then 27 years after his death, file release, like weird. But he's been labeled in with the people that died at 27 years of age. Most notable would be Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. The most notable ones. But everybody lumps him in with that, and I really am. I'm very questioning if Kurt Cobain, I'm going to say, deserved to be lumped in with those legends like Jimi Hendrix. But tell me, what do you feel? I want to hear what the people watching feel too. I want to hear the.
I'm going to disagree with you. So
why is it? I want to hear it.
I think at that time, I'm going to keep doing this all night now. I think just for that time, for me, it was I had never heard anything like that. And just, I think because of the impact that coming in, bringing that whole grunge, that Seattle sound from the West Coast so fast over to the East Coast and just blasted through this country and through the world and made that impact to me. And you may disagree. I don't know, but I don't know.
I don't know. Third place
for me. For me, I mean, Nirvana was like my generation's Beatles. As
Yeah,
weird as that
okay.
may seem, but
No,
because
that doesn't seems very normal. Actually, it seems logical.
and the thing that's really crazy about it too is that they had been kicking around and gone through many, many lineups before a lot of people, knew them as what
Right.
they were when what was it that Nevermind was in like 1991, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And uh, for me, it was like I never heard anything like that before,
Right.
and it whipped the airways.
It's so funny because I remember the Black Album came out. I was 87,
That was
89,
90, I think.
91. So I was 4 years into guitar, and at the time I remember saying 3 years is the magic number. I was putting in four like usually 4 to 6 hours a day of playing, trying to get my ability up to where I could have a band.
91.
And then the Black Album came out, and that's what everybody wanted me to play. They were like, play Enter Sandman. If you can play Enter Sandman, you're the person or whatever. And I could play that song in my sleep. But that was the thing is all of a sudden these guys came out, and it was definitely Soundgarden?
Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and Nirvana were the ones.
And oddly enough, the band Heart was part of that like Seattle thing that got pulled back. So they all like had a resurgence, if you will, of the Seattle scene. And that was the thing is it kind of changed the face of the way suddenly people were saying, hey, can you sing? Like, I remember somebody asking me if I could sing, like, I think it was Lane Staley or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, Lane Staley sings like Lane Staley, so I don't want to sing like him. I'd like to sing something new and creative. But yeah. And after that, I kind of got, it really befuddled me in a way that I said, you know what, I'm just going to start my own thing, and, to hell with these guys. I'm leaving them behind. But the thing is I don't want to take too much from Kurt. The idea that he suffered from depression, he suffered from all this other stuff. And the thing is I think he really was, of all of them, I think he really did, I want to say, led the charge when it came to the Seattle scene. Yeah. But like, I mean, what would have happened if Jim Morrison had lived to be 80 years old? Would it have been seen differently? Or was it their death that really made them legends? I don't think that's true of Jimi Hendrix. I think Jimi Hendrix was just such a phenomenal guitarist. He could have lived forever, and we'd still be honoring his music the way we do today, especially if you're a guitarist. But it really makes me wonder if, because not many people talk as much about Pearl Jam as they still talk about him. And obviously Dave Grohl went on to do his bands, and they've gone on to do success. And what's his wife's name? What was hers?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love, right? Yeah. So she went on to do Hole, and then she did her stuff, and actually went on to acting. And the stuff with their daughter looks like she definitely has a future. She definitely is skilled, very charismatic. So she looks like an awesome lady, and I think there's certain people like Dale Earnhardt Jr. does not live in the shadow of his father, even though he does. I think that a lot of those people, like, they do have those shadows, but I do think they earned their own place. So, but yeah, it's quite the legacy that he left behind. So I can't knock it,
I think a lot of it was because they came in so fast, and Joe saying Bleach was their best. I have to agree. I think Bleach was their best collective album, but obviously Nevermind, the impact that it made. And
right.
I just remember was like, I think Nevermind and the Black Album were only about a month apart on the releases. So you were like Metallica and you were Nirvana, and it was just two crazy major impact albums that changed the world of music at that time. And I think for a lot of it too is that Nirvana came in so fast, and they went out so fast as well.
Right.
I mean, their run was only like in the spotlight was only like 3 years, because in 94, obviously he committed suicide. But it's crazy. But
I can't believe it was 94. Like, I'm just like, it's so weird.
I remember the day hearing about it, coming home, seeing all over MTV, and I was crying. Like, I had pictures of me looking like Kurt back then. Like I worshipped him. I wore, like, I literally went out and bought like the sweaters and the t-shirts that he wore and everything. I wanted to be Kurt Cobain. He was really the one that really inspired. Nirvana was really the band that inspired me to pick the guitar up and start playing in bands.
Nice. Well,
I was like, I want to play like that, And then obviously it was Slayer and Metallica and stuff like that. But
what the funniest, the band that really, like, so I got into guitar, I did a lot of stuff, but I had some very, and the thing is, I hope to talk about it down the road about how basically my music career was sabotaged. But the thing is the band that really brought me back to it was Static X.
Okay.
And I thought that was so weird that you think about
the new metal.
Well, and it was, I don't think it was everybody, because not everybody drove me until like I listened to Static X.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that category of music was called new metal.
Right. But I didn't like many of the other bands. It was serious. And that's the thing is I'd come from Metallica doing leads. You know, you had to be a better player of guitar. If you listen to any of the old 80s stuff like Testament, you had to, or Megadeth, like I play in Megadeth, you're like, you have to be good. And then to go over to something where it was more harmonic, like Static X, where it was like you just tune it down like 5 or 6 steps and here's how you're playing, and there's no leads, there's no nothing, it's just this rhythmic drumming kind of tone. But it was weird to think that that Kurt vibe was, music was simpler. You didn't have to have leads, you didn't have to follow these like codexes, just go out and make music. And I think that's something that he definitely brought to the table was, I'm going to write what I want to write, and that's just how it's going to be. And that the idea you could be successful doing that.
So real quick.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't see the chat, but for some reason, member chats don't show up on the feed here. But Basil Bezels is asking, congrats on the new computer, and he's asking how the new mascot is doing.
That's right.
I do have a new mascot that I want to show everybody. Let me pull this screen down now.
He is awesome.
This is Mr. Jinx.
He's the new. Look at him
with those blue eyes, huh? He's my little buddy, and
he's already creeping up to the camera, like trying to steal some fire.
But he's only 2 days here at the house, so he's still a little skittish. He's only 10 weeks old, and he had his first night here at the house last night, and it was awesome. He jumped right up on the bed, slept right next to my head, and I knew right there we were going to instantly bond together. So that's Jinxie Cat, and that's named after. I always said if I had a Himalayan or a long-haired cat that looks like him, was it Meet the Parents? I would name him Mr. Jinx. So that's
a perfect name for him too.
Give him a little cheer there, Mr. Jinx. Good stuff. Yes. So Kurt Cobain and 20 years of Layne Staley.
Layne Staley? Layne Staley?
Years.
No way.
20 years. So that's the same thing too. Same day, 4 or 5, both passed on the same day. Obviously, we know Layne had struggled many years with heroin addiction, and that's unfortunately it's what ultimately did him in. And I just think 2 amazing, brilliant artists, and I think he was 27 as well too. I think he's the 27 club. I think he was 27. But anyway, another impact. I mean, this guy's voice is insane. Nothing like we will ever get to hear, ever again. And it's sad because we lost Chris Cornell just a couple of years as well ago too. All those guys are gone. Soundgarden.
Layne was 34.
34.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he was 27 too. I'm glad I looked it up.
I thought he was part of the 27.
But yeah, so you were saying, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, we lost Chris Cornell, we lost Kurt, and we've lost Stain. So it's Stain. Lane. I say Stain and Lane.
Cornell was quite the pop when I didn't expect it, and it didn't feel good. You know what I mean?
And who was the other guy? The other guy that was in Lincoln Park, Bennington, Chad Bennington. He killed himself after Chris Cornell killed himself. And there's
major
a lot
depression.
Of weird stuff that kind of intertwined them too. It's really strange.
Well, that was the other thing is Wayne Static. We were talking about that. Another guy that was really cut down in his prime. And that was the thing is that was a big role because people had said, don't say that it's based on drugs.
Yeah.
But then, come to find out it was based on drugs, and he was 48 when he died. So
it was drugs that
yeah, it was drugs. Yeah. He had already, I forgot which one I don't think he was a heroin guy. He had a lot of other, he liked to mix drugs and he liked to party.
Yeah.
And the thing was, is he'd gotten clean, but then he had his girlfriend that was the ex porn star that he went with.
Yes.
And the band always blamed her for the breakup because, you know, he started making decisions based on the input she gave. But then he died. And then right after she died a year later. So it's kind of like, you know, that was in 2014. So that's correct.
Who was he dating?
You know what?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Tara Ray. I never even heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
She was a lady actress.
Yes, a lady. Is it the Lady of the Night actress?
A Lady of the Night actress.
Yeah. But he died. Yes, here we go. So I said it a little bit wrong. He died in 2014 and she died in 2016. But I think their relationship was very tight. So
Joe's saying allegedly Chad and Chris allegedly killed themselves. Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff about that. I remember reading a lot of weird things, and because I think they both hung themselves, which was weird. And then there was some other weird stuff, and then people made some allegations that they might have been hanging out, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird stuff. So I don't know. Anyway,
I try not to. I follow Ben Affleck.
I don't care if you're into that. You know,
I just follow Ben Affleck and what was her name?
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
J-Lo. That's
J-Lo.
Right.
Do we care? Does anybody care?
Nearly 2 decades.
Primo
after their
Jennifer
original
Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting back, and they're already.
You didn't do the voice.
Primo, I have to tell you, the story just came across my desk, and it's now looking like Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting back together.
Yep.
Do we care?
No, we don't.
I mean, who cares?
I mean, well, somebody cares. Okay. Is the world bored? Is that why we keep having the Kardashians and the J-Los and all this information that like, or is it really just that the media is like, how do we put you guys to sleep?
Seriously. Why do we care? Why do people care about this stuff so much?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
I mean, we know who was he was married to Jennifer Gardner, and he cheated on her with the smoking hot nanny that they hired. I mean,
it seems like a stupid move. I don't think I would ever cheat on Jennifer Gardner.
Yeah,
because she's like the funniest, like, and she's very flat with her comedy, which I think is like makes her even funner to be around. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, how do you not? I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking for my little buddy because he's running wild.
He'll be bouncing off a wall in a minute. That would be great.
But it's like I look at it like you hire a smoking hot nanny. How?
Why?
And he's flying private with her. You know what I mean? Like,
great.
Nothing's gonna happen there.
No, it'll be fine. You know what? She's a hard worker. She's dedicated to her job.
I'm almost wondering if any of these two have movies coming up or coming out, because it always seems like they have to do this stuff when they're trying to promote a movie or you know, I don't know. Who cares about this stuff? It's so stupid.
I mean, like, it really is our 24-hour news cycle so dull that, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be back together. They're going to come back together and they're going to be broke up again a couple months. And, you know, it is what it is. There are a couple of legendary couples out there, but that's the thing is it's few and far
this one too. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. How weird is that? How weird is that?
Well, Megan Fox and what was the other guy? When she's like, I bought a ring and the ring has teeth on it, so if she tries to pull the ring off, it's going to tear her skin off. What is wrong with you people? Do you seriously, like, what am I missing? Is there something in the water? What's going on?
I think this is what people do when they're just A-list celebrities and they have no time on their hands and they need to.
That's really A-list?
Their own lives. How
do we become you know what? Let me get my scarf again. How do we get A-list again?
Maybe we can look it up.
That's right.
How do I become
how to become A-list?
How to become?
Do I need to show up? You know what? I think I need to get invited to the parties. That's what I need.
Want to become an A-lister? Oh, I found an article.
Oh, is there something?
Oh,
Nice.
let's take a look.
Do it.
Hang on. Yeah, let me just get through all these cookies.
We got some guys out there that watch this show on the regular, and they want to come with us because we need, dude, if we're going to get this successful, we have to have an entourage.
Right.
You know?
All right. So how do we become an A-lister? All right.
Okay.
So want to become an A-lister.
Top 20 tips.
Hot 20 tips. Ready?
You do the first one. I'll do the next one.
This is from campaign.
Whatever. Who cares? We're
A-list.
going to learn.
Okay. Most important of all, know what you want. It's amazing how many people don't and spend years drifting.
Well, I gave up the 240SX, so I'm not going to be drifting as much with the car, but I don't understand how car drifting has anything to do with this. But anyway, number 2, flaunt your plus points and hide your minus ones. You're often the best person to blow your own trumpet. Turn modest success into a major triumph. That was perfectly timed on the applause there. Good job.
It's good, right? People, number 3, people read the A-list book cover to cover. So don't say you're in it if you're not.
So you're saying, okay, how to become an A-lister, read the A-list book. If I'm reading the A-list book, what do I need your list for? Like, I should already know what the A-list is. Why do you think I come here to campaign? I need to talk to this writer. Who's this? Featured, brought to you by Red Sofa. No, everybody go. You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody because you need to learn to write. All right.
Primo, did you know intelligence is power? The more you know about who you work for, the better moves you'll make. You'll outsmart people without knowing them.
I secretly work for Brian, and I don't know. I think that intelligence is power is knowing who you work for. And I just, maybe that's it. But anyway, get to know the trade press. So like, people that give you stuff in return for stuff. I'll give you some corn. You give me tobacco. I don't know. There's something there, but they love harmless gossip as much as serious stories. Wine and dine, but don't use FIFA as your role model. It won't work. What? Who is FIFA? I'm so
it's an article here. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't click on it. It's probably a virus. But anyway.
Avoid self-improvement books. They're usually written by failures for failures.
I can't, buddy. All right. Whatever. Okay. So I
don't think I could do 20 of these. I really don't.
So the point is not to be self-improvement. That's okay. Okay, it's number 7. Don't lie about your age, but if you have to, do it with wit. You're the youngest looking 78-year-old in the business. And I'd like to say I'm happy to be 29 again.
Yes.
Oh my God. 21. I can't. Oh, we're done with this. I
can't do this.
Yeah, that's obviously this is not. You know what? Is there a self-help book out there that says A-listers? But I can't read that book because it won't teach me anything. That's what the A-lister said.
Oh God.
So I realized that I didn't sniff enough glue as a kid. That was my problem. Some more lead paint in my life probably would have fixed it all, but no.
I just don't know what people's obsessions about celebrities and their relationships about. Because I think people really sit back and they go, "Did you know?
Do you want?" Here's what I think it is, and this is exactly
the worst part ever.
So. You remember exactly. So back in the day, we read stories about kings and queens and Cinderellas and all this stuff, and all people want to do is see this Cinderella story, and it has no it's nothing but fluff. So, but they still want to get swept up in it. I used to meet people like that, but I never understood what they were getting out of these experiences, but that to them is royalty. So as long as they get their royalty, and since it's illegal to be a royal in America, they have to get it the way they can get it.
It's just crazy how people completely, and they have they for years they've had these programs Jen and Ben have been spotted in California today. It's just like, do people?
Well, look, imagine this, like the royal family, they make no decisions whatsoever when it comes to the politics of like the UK. They're more like figureheads now. But the idea that, yes, Joe, worst article ever. They still, if they break up, if there's some sort of family thing or whatever, there's always some drama that gets front page news and all. I'm like, why? What do they do? What have they done? What have they changed? They're like literally, like you were born, you're a prince. That's your job. Like, and they can't even apparently do that right. So, hey, there's got to be right. Yeah, like Brian's like, I got this, man. This is easy.
You can
put the crown. I got it. Put the robe.
Set me up. I'll take it. Bling bling. I'll take it. Bling bling.
But yeah,
Joe's saying hashtag catch for content.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Upvote for cats. There you go.
Upvote for cats. We need some upvotes. Upvote for cats.
All right, what's next tonight? Because that was painful.
It was pretty bad. All right. Well, we have the most savage man on earth lately that I want to get into. Elon Musk is becoming a complete savage lately.
I'd like to have some scorched earth on Twitter, if you don't mind. Add Twitter.
Unreal. So this guy goes out and buys the most shares of Twitter. I think he actually has more shares than Jack Dorsey now, and is basically telling Twitter that they can stick it and they're going to have to listen to him. What he's doing now too, I've been looking on his Twitter feed. He's actually putting things in like doing a poll saying, should we have an edit button on Twitter? Should we have a paid subscription? Should we? He's totally just going in. And now these woke liberals that run Twitter are quitting. Right. All the people are, the tech people, all this, they're all quitting. And he wants to open this up to be a complete free speech type of platform, which it should be, because Twitter is, obviously the biggest, platform, instant platform out there, is what I like to kind of call it. But now, coming out and just saying, look, you're going to have to listen to me now. 52%,
babe.
Seriously.
Yeah. I have all the votes, Oh, you want to be fired? Do you want to be fired? Do you want to be fired? Okay.
So it's saying Elon Musk from Fox News, actually CNBC News. Elon Musk suggests people should subscribe to be Twitter Blue, should be able to pay with Dogecoin. So what he's trying to do is make a premium subscription now, which is pretty dope if you're into that. It says the billionaire CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, savage right there, who revealed this week that he owns 9.2% of Twitter, is a prolific Twitter user, often moving markets with his tweets.
Really?
He was appointed to Twitter. He was appointed to Twitter's board of directors on Tuesday and said he looked forward to working with the board to make it a, quote, significant improvements to Twitter in the upcoming months.
Did you see the one that one time it was back in back when the guys were voting up Dogecoin and it was going up in value, and it says when you find out the new board of directors got hired based on his new investing, and it's Big Bird sitting in the back and all the rest of the dudes in suits. I feel like that moment just happened with him. Like he just showed up and he was like, we're dressed in a Hawaiian shirt, like, hey guys, what's going on? Hey, we should make this a subscription based thing. So
Joe's asking, does it give Don his Twitter back? I think he's been talking about it. I know it's been talked about. I think he should. I don't think he should ever get banned off. We need to hear. Yeah, I know. We need to hear from presidents. If all presidents are allowed on platforms, and obviously he's an ex-president, he needs to be heard as well too.
Right.
Let's see. Elon floats. I love this. Elon Musk floats from Fox News. Elon Musk floats turning Twitter's headquarters into a homeless shelter because no one basically shows up.
Is this real? Like, yeah, it's like so.
This is his Twitter. It said covert Twitter San Francisco headquarters. Convert Twitter's San Francisco headquarters to homeless shelter since no one shows up anyway, and he has a yes and no.
He is.
Look at the votes,
dude. Can you vote on it right now?
Yeah, I have a Twitter account.
Let's see it. Do it.
Boom. Let me see.
Can you hit it? I want to see.
I'll bring it up. Hang on.
See what the results of that is. That's gonna be funny if it's like 90% yes.
Can you
Got junked.
Let me just pull this down so I don't reveal any of my stuff.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to show off your secret. Secret sauce.
My secret sauce.
That's right.
Give me a second. I'll be able to get in here.
Today, Elon Musk gave a wedgie to the. Oh, okay. Delete the W in Twitter. Elon Musk 17 hours ago. 57% yes.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. He's just going like, dude.
Hang on, I'll be able to get in.
I already know the results. You ready?
All right. What do you got?
91% said yes, it should be changed to.
Dude, and that was out of 1.8 million votes.
Yep. Wow. Look at that. And 49 minutes left, so there's still time to vote. So if you guys want to go over to Elon Musk's Twitter and vote to make San Francisco headquarters a homeless shelter, you can make your voice heard.
It's crazy. Yeah, he's been talking about this premium membership.
You know what? I feel like he's going in with the sheer thing of saying, I hate it, so I'm going to buy it so I can mothball it.
Yeah. That's all.
That's crazy.
He's just tired of it. He's tired of the canceling everybody, kicking people off platforms. I think there was some, my voice just cracked. I think there was some, I think there was some rumors that he was going to start his own platform, but I think he just went in. This is a lot easier. The form is there. The platform's there. Go in, buy up the stock, and just go in and get on the board and say, guess what?
Scorch earth.
Just savage, though. Fellow billionaire Jeff Bezos offered to show support. Oh, wow. Bezos isn't on this, too.
Wow.
Okay. Blue Premium. Just trying to think. Convert. I love that.
But wasn't he? Is he? I thought he was still in space attached to the gigantic thing.
The flying penis.
That's the one.
It's a flying penis, bro.
I know. But I thought he was still stuck up in space on that. So
maybe. Homelessness is a particularly visible problem. And the funny thing about this too is that you read these articles and they're obviously trolling, and they take it like, well, homelessness is a particularly visible problem. Like maybe this is possible.
Right?
We could do this. It's possible.
The best part would be is if he actually what? Oh, you guys think I'm fooling? Well, let's just do it. Here you go. 50% of the vote today believes that Twitter is a homeless shelter now. Just, dude, open it up and just not just make it a homeless shelter, but in other words, make it something so like squatters can come in and set up in the foyer or something. That would be the way to go.
Can you imagine how crazy that would be, though? It would be a world of its own.
Yes.
To watch that.
That would be the bottom of the ninth coming into the sorry. For Twitter, Twitter's down 27 points to nothing. Elon is now coming into the last pitch today, and he's batted a lot of homers, and now he's about to hit one out of the park. So Twitter, unfortunately, has a sore toe.
He did. He walked in and everybody went, bling, bling.
Oh, my God.
Ollie, in the chat saying I've been gone longer than I thought. I come back to penis rockets. Yes.
See, this is what happens when we start talking about Kardashians and J-Lo's, and it's crazy.
It's penis rockets. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's penis rockets. Ollie, how are you, man? I hope you're doing well. Different format over here now, but we still talk. Oh, by the way, I figured out if we want to get the videos pushed out in the algorithm, you know what you need to have? More women on your show. That the video we had, that we just did with Kelly and Kristen, already 500 views on it.
You know what? That's the thing. That's the secret. I did. You know what? Now that you think about it, doesn't it sound so easy? Like, why didn't I think of that before?
Should have thought of that before. So they don't want to look at our ugly asses. They want to look at the beautiful women.
Sorry.
But Kelly and Kristen, if you're watching, thank you so much for doing that.
Right.
It was a great time. And if anybody hasn't seen that show, go back and watch it.
Kelly and Kristen, apparently they don't want Fester. They want you. So sorry about that.
Oh,
I thought it was more of a Telly Savalas, but I guess the algorithm will put me into a whole nother hashtag. So, but don't worry. Elon is coming to save me. We're good.
Elon's coming to save the world. I just wonder what this guy's going to do next, because it always just seems like you turn the corner and he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, right.
It was funny. I went back and watched an episode, was doing kind of some research on the show. I watched that episode of him on Joe Rogan, and they talked about how he built the tunnels. You know, he's trying to solve the traffic problem in LA. And he said, Joe Rogan goes, well, you built this tunnel. It's like a mile long. How do you do that? Like, how do you just build a tunnel? You just say you're going to go build. He said, it's literally the easiest thing. And I think he's probably just joshing a little bit too.
That seems hyperbolic.
Yeah. He said, we found a plot of land or whatever. We bought the plot of land and I got a permit to build a ditch. So he says, we build this ditch within like 24 hours. It's a ditch. He says, it's a ditch. And he said, all I had to do was fill out a permit. I get a piece of paper that allows me to go out and dig. And here we are now, a couple months later, we have a tunnel that's earthquake proof, and, it's never going to collapse. It's pressure proof, like 4 times the amount that anything could take on Earth. It's like, the way he talks about it is just so easy.
I feel like I've missed my calling.
It's crazy.
I should have done more in the .com era. I'm just saying.
Holly says, Fester, does Primo keep a light bulb on his desk?
And the best part, you know what? I should have brought it so I could put it in my mouth and light it up. And yeah.
That says I need a tunnel.
Done. Dude, it's so easy. Dude, all you have to do is go get a permit and start digging, bro. I'm telling you.
But Joe's like, how the fuck do you do? Like, how do you just build a tunnel? He's like, oh, it's easy. You just get a permit. I'm like, no.
Do you ever think there's a time where Joe Rogan looks?
It's that's what it comes down to.
You ever think there's a time that Joe Rogan looks over and he's just deer in headlights? Like, wow, that's it. Like I've now come to the end of whatever journey I've been on. I know it all now.
I'm trying to think, who do you think would be the most famous person he's had on his podcast? The most famous person.
There was a show.
Elon Musk has to be up there.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be. You know what? As always,
no permit where I live. We got a $10.11 super chat from my man Ollie. Says, I can't let go of that Uncle Fester comment. Let's get Primo on the trains and Musk tunnel flying down the rail with a
Sign me up. I am on.
Thank you, Ollie. Appreciate it. Give you a little bass, little horn.
Mike Tyson, Kevin Hart.
Okay.
So who's Duncan Trussell? Duncan Trussell?
I don't know.
Comedian, podcaster was on there. Bob Lazar and Jeremy Corbell. Elon Musk.
4 months, and obviously, I for some reason we can't pull up the mile marker comments, but it says obligatory member milestone chat. So YouTube stops blinking at me. Thank you, buddy. I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate you hanging out and checking us out. And you are welcome on the show anytime. Maybe we come back and talk some watches in a few weeks and have everybody back on. Love to
Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Mike Tyson. Okay. Bill Burr.
Mm-hmm.
These were Ben Shapiro. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle. And these are the
has to be up.
Oh no, he was like third or fourth.
Third most famous person?
Yeah, in other words, like the best shows that he ever had for the podcast.
Oh, for views.
Yeah, Duncan Trussell was number 1. I don't know who that is. It's a podcaster, comedian.
How do you spell his last name?
Trussell.
American actor?
Yeah. And Alex Jones was number 7. That's hilarious.
Duncan Trussell,
I guess. Yeah.
He's an American actor and stand-up comic known for his podcast, The Duncan Trussell Family Hour. He appears on Netflix series Midnight Call. Really? That guy got the most
that was
views?
number 1. I don't know if it's the most views, but it rates it from like, you know, the top. It said like the best, maybe it's the best interviews or the best whatever's, but that's the thing is from looking at this, it really seems like Elon Musk was the kind of the top guy that's been on that show.
You know what would be kind of, I know we had Kanye West, which is, I mean, look, dude, as much as people like to bang on that guy's pretty famous too.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the show.
Was big.
And
that guy, I'm just trying, like, who else has he had? Has he had Justin Bieber or anybody? That's pretty big.
By the way, when he had Earnhardt Jr. on, Earnhardt really kind of bore his soul on the show. I thought, for me, that's biased because I'm a car guy. But yeah, I really thought that was a big show if you were into, you know, NASCAR, which not a lot of people are. But
you know what I like watching? There's a guy that goes on. He's been on quite a few times. His name is Randall Carlson, and he has studied the topography of the United States and some, you know, countries overseas too. And he basically can map out like what happened during the Big Bang. It's crazy. You got to go back and watch the episodes, and they're amazing. And they talk about, a lot of people don't know the lost civilization that was here like 10,000 years ago, and how they got wiped out from, you know, like the meteor that hit and all. It's crazy, and how the earth got carved. And he talks about,
we actually just a lot of that study that they were at the forefront of. Originally, we thought that, I think it was 15,000 years ago, humans first came across on the bridge and did their expansion. Now we come to find out that it's been only like 10 or 11,000 years, which just changes a lot. So good luck, Brian. I'm sure you join you for the topics more at my hour in the future. The Musk interview top because it really wasn't that interesting in comparison. Yep, got it. Perfect. But yeah, like I said, it's very interesting to see where that science has changed. And I think that's the thing is he still brings in those big guests because of that. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing is I just feel like there are other people. Like Mike Tyson is just, you can put Mike Tyson with anybody and he's interesting. I really liked his Michael Franzese interview, which I thought was really seriously one of the best ones because he had somebody with him, and Michael can really pull the conversations out, and Tyson kind of really went into stuff but I mean, he was in what is it, the Ip Man and all that stuff. Like some of the stuff that he's done since has really been exceptional, and I just his stories are really good. So
Joe Ferro was a good show too. That was good. What are some of the other ones? I like when he has Joey Diaz on, his buddy, the comedian.
Okay.
Oh, they are great together. And Joey talks about like all the old stories growing up in like the 70s and 80s and doing comedy back then, and how hard it was, and all the drugs that he did, and just all the crazy stuff. But I love listening to him. I think he did a small spot on Sopranos. He's done some small things, but he's known more for his stand-up comedy, and he's hilarious. And he's one of those people that have been through so much. And he talks about, like, I know there's one episode he's like, oh, we used to go down and in like the 70s when we were like teenage, like 12, 13 years old, we'd go down and beat up the drug dealers on the corner and steal their money. And it's just all the crazy shit they used to do. And, he's like, I'd take the weed off this guy and take it up to this guy and trade it for Coke. And it's just all those crazy, things that I never did in my life, but I think that is just weird, crazy. And
who is the guy that tells the Russian mob story? You know what I'm talking about? The guy has no shirt. God, he has no shirt on. I can't remember his name now, and I want to say the Bear or something. But it was one of my. I don't know why, but like I watched his show just to hear that one story, and it so paid off. And it's like, like stories like that about where they're talking about these things that they did is just incredible.
The man. Yeah. Oh, Bert. Yes, Bert. Yes,
Bert Kreischer. There you go. Thank you. Yep. And the stuff that he talks about when he did his other show, when he was like, yeah, they wanted me to wrestle a bear. And I'm like, I'm not wrestling a bear, but they're like, you're contractually obligated to wrestle this bear. Like, how does that conversation, like, I've never had that happen on a contractual agreement, but I kind of want to. I have had, we were signed up to do a driving show with my friend's Volkswagen Beetle that was a Mad Max car, and I've never had a car.
I've seen that car.
Yeah,
It's
no,
wild.
that car tried to kill me. It literally tried to kill me. The door flew open during the drive. No, it wasn't. Like, everybody else could touch the car. It loved them. It hated me.
It's like Christine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Door flew open. One was the seatbelt started like tightening on me. I was like, "What is going on with this car?" And then at the end of it, we got to the end of the drive, and it was almost like, "Guys, just kidding you." And it was probably one of the best and funnest shows I ever had, just because it was, it's raw, it's real, But yeah, that was
wild. I can't believe he gets that thing registered, because it looks like it's a Mad Max car.
Yeah.
How did he get that registered?
It just registered. It has working headlights. It has the blinker lights. Instead of being able to see behind you, it has a camera that the rearview mirror is made of. So you look in the rearview mirror, and it's basically looks like a rearview mirror, but it's a TV screen that's showing behind you, because you can't look behind you.
There's no clearance. Yeah, it's all blocked off.
But yeah, he has the turrets were on the top, 2 rocket launcher turrets, and then he has what would be a 50 cal gun on the top. Right. But he was converting it to fire Nerf guns, like Nerf things. And it was tied down when we tested it. But he was like, when we turned it on, the rockets would move and do stuff. But he was like, I don't want to scare people when I'm driving, so I only do it when it was great, dude. And the people, we drove through a park between you and me. We drove through a park with the thing. Everybody's like, I mean, just the idea that we were nutcases with it alone. Most of the footage didn't actually make it into the thing. And you want to keep it on topic, but we were driving through the park, and these people were just looking at us like, is this dude gonna shoot? Like, what's going on? Like, it was crazy. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Dugo Ted says, I got to get some rocket launches.
Absolutely, dude. Changes your whole golf game.
And they gotta spit golf balls at people. Like, wow, that'd be great. Yeah. You know what I always thought was funny? This, hang on a second.
I'm just going to play through.
Is it hang on. I'm trying to look at something. Sorry. What the hell is it called? He falls through this. Oh, it's Hey Billy. That's right. Have you ever seen the guy that falls through the roof in the golf pro shop? Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Hello, Billy.
And I wanted to play that because, oh, dude, I wanted to play it because I just thought the golf, Dugo Ted with golf cart. I gotta play that really quick. This is great. Let me get past this commercial.
This is the funniest thing ever. Hey, Billy.
Funny. And the guy's like, no, wait a minute. Don't you move.
Right. Yeah, this is it, man. This is old school right here. 2014.
Yeah. But he's like, hey, Billy. He goes, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that
2,
that pizza
1.
is about at the hell's going on there.
He goes,
wow,
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy. That hurt.
That hurt.
All right, don't move a muscle.
Don't move a muscle.
Yeah.
He gets up. He goes, no, lay down.
Yeah, just lay down, dude. Seriously.
Put a hole in the ceiling.
You might have put a hole in the ceiling.
Don't move. No, hold on.
And he lays back down like the way he landed so we can get the picture.
That is amazing.
You went too far. Hey,
dude,
Ron. Hey,
but if
Billy.
you watch, dude, the way it hits his head.
Yeah.
Oh.
That hurt. Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy.
That hurt.
That hurt.
All right, don't move a muscle. I'm fine.
I like how he goes, I might have put a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Don't move.
Don't move.
Don't move.
This guy's
too
like,
funny.
what?
I put a hole in the ceiling. Don't move.
This is for insurance later.
Yeah. and his camera's like a flip phone. Look at,
Yeah.
and you hear the camera go.
Yeah.
That's what I look.
That's hilarious. That's an old school video right there, man.
It's like one of those like first viral videos that were.
Yeah, I wish we knew.
I like at first if you really listen to it, you kind of hear some rattling. The guy goes, "What the hell's going on up there?" And then all of a sudden he just comes to the roof.
There was one that there was a guy that was breaking into the place, and he had hidden. He thought he was going to get past the cops by climbing through, and he fell into the potato chip aisle. And that had to be the most brutal fall I've ever seen, because it didn't break his fall in the least. And the cop is just like, well, there he is. It's like, what the hell? Oh, it was great stuff.
All good stuff. Yeah, man. So I don't know. That's probably going to be, we're getting to that hour. We're getting to that hour. You know what that means?
It means that Ben and J-Lo in the bottom of the ninth today on Basketball High. You too can hit like a professional, or bat like Ben, I guess. Is that it?
Broken up. Give it a week.
Yeah. That sound is like drilling through my head.
Is it? It's loud.
Oh, wicked loud. Yeah.
I'll turn it down next time.
The best part is, like, say when you play it, I can't hear you. He just sounds like you're like off it.
All right, dude. We're gonna close this one out.
Yeah.
Next Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join us. Trying to get some guests on the show. It's tough. This is a grind, man. It's not easy. It's not
Nope.
easy.
Nope.
It's not easy. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next Sunday. Bottom of the bottom of the 7th, beginning of the 8th. We'll be right here, batting a full good average.
We'll see you next Sunday. Peace.